Ready to Love Season 3, Episode 4. I'm back for another real quick comment read. This is a topic that I've been meaning to do a quick video on. Not too much I want to get into it because I'm writing a book on it, and it's what a woman brings to the table. Okay, in my last video, in the comment read, I talked about if a man ever asks you ladies what you bring to the table, get your bag and run. Okay, this is why you have to be mindful of how you position your pocketbook, okay, at the restaurant when you're out on the dinner with the man. Make sure you have it here. Matter of fact, eat like eat like this, just in case you need to get up and run, okay? So I've been forgetting to make a video, but brother Andre, and a couple of other brothers had left. I was spent an hour trying to find their messages and I couldn't find it. But Andre says, I disagree with you on this part. A man should ask what you are bringing to the table. Welcome back to Church Girls Want to Get Married To. My name is Janice, by the way. Please be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, share this video out if you can. Any man with good means would be a fool not to ask that question. My circle of men friends, we have worked hard to get our education, good credit, homes, employment, no kids, and just doing it. So why should I accept someone, for example, like Alicia? Heck no, I'm not taking in a woman with more than one kid, baby daddy problems, and a lot of bills. Oh, so I'm supposed to put all her troubles and problems on me. Yeah, okay, I'll stay single and sucker free. Now, I made the comment and I have shared that my husband married me without asking me how much money I made, even though I had a very decent job. Never asked me what I brought to the table. Never asked me how much I earned. He never asked me that because there are different types of men. And I believe it is important for both men and women to know. See, I'm trying my thou shall not try me shirt. Men and women to know who they are. And for those of you who are single, dating for marriage, you need to know what kind of marriage you want to have. So for me, Janice Hylton, I wanted a husband who could provide for our household independent of me. I wanted a husband who did not need my money to pay our primary bills. I wanted a husband where I worked because I want to work, not because I have to work to pay the mortgage. There's a difference between I work because I want to versus I work because I have to, okay? I wanted a husband that I could, when I had the baby, I didn't have to run back to work in 2 weeks because he can't afford to pay the mortgage by himself. So I would stay home. I stayed on 6 months with my little boy. I wanted a husband in the event of an emergency, aka coronavirus. He can say, girl, write your leave letter. Let them know you're taking a leave and you could take a leave for 6 months or whatever. That's the type of husband I wanted. Okay? And I knew, ladies, how much I needed him to earn so he could provide for us. That's another thing. In your what I want in a husband, you need to know, based on where you live, you need to calculate about how much you think he needs to earn to be able to provide for you. So when you meet the man that's making $27,000 a year, guess what? Don't waste your time talking to him, girl, because he can't afford you. Okay? Now, there are different types of men. There are 50% men. They're providers like my husband and his fraternity brothers. There are men who need a little help. There are men who say, well, I'll pay the mortgage, you pay everything else. There are men who want 50-50. And I think men, you need to be clear upfront about what kind of man you are and what type of husband you're going to be. Women, you need to know what kind of wife you are and what kind of wife you're going to be, what kind of husband you want to be. My problem with a lot of women, y'all marry these 50-50 men and then cry about him being 50-50. See, I got a problem with that. Y'all knew when you marry him, the agreement was you're going to split the bills 50-50 down the middle. You knew when you married him he couldn't afford to pay all them bills. You knew that. Then you get in the marriage 3 months. I'm tired. I need you to pay these bills. I'm so stressed out. I can't. I just can't. Billy, you need to pay all these bills. I just can't anymore. And that's not fair for Billy, because you knew when you married Billy, Billy only made $30,000 a year, and y'all can't live on $30,000 with 4 kids in the house and a mortgage in a car. For my single sisters who are dating for marriage, you get to choose your husband. You are in a position that a lot of naked wives are not in, because they've already chosen their husbands, and now they're crying about all the issues they should have worked out before they signed the dotted line. So you have an opportunity, my single sisters, to choose the type of husband you want. If you want to provide a husband that can provide for your basic needs, then that's what you need to choose. And that's what you need to date. So if you meet a man who wants to 50-50, bye-bye, that's not what you want. Don't marry that man who told you up front he wants to split the bills with you and then cry about him being a 50. You knew that going in, don't do it. Okay, you get to choose. A husband is a choice. You choose your husband. Now let's go back to something Brother Andre says. He said, I disagree with you on this part, and a lot of brothers have said this. So I'm not picking on Andre. It's just that I forgot I needed to do a video, okay? You asked what you were bringing to the table. Whenever a man asks a woman what she brings to the money, it equates to money. Whenever a man asks a woman, so what you bring to the table, other than, not the brothers didn't say this, but I've read this on Facebook, other than what's between your legs, it usually equates to money. That's what it equates to. What you bring to the table, money. And so for my sisters who needs the provider husband, who is the sole provider, who provides for all of your basic needs, that's not a question a provider husband asks. Because he don't need you to bring any money to the table. He has the money. He's going to pay all the primary bills, your mortgage, basic needs. So he's not going to ask. That's why my husband never asked me that. It didn't matter how much money I made. It didn't matter if I was working or not. He found what he wanted in a wife, and he was able to provide for all of our needs. And going on 8 years, he has provided for all of our needs. Okay? If the bank call, I'm not going to assume Mike didn't pay the mortgage. I'm going to assume there's some kind of glitch or something. And that happened to me one time. They called, Miss Thompson, we didn't get the mortgage, something. But he had dropped it off at the bank. Girl, I said, what you say? Woo, I got hot. I said, I had to call Mike. I said, I had to call you so you could come. They called back and apologized. Miss Thompson, sorry, we did get the mortgage payment, blah, blah. It didn't, whatever. Okay? So whenever a man asks what a woman brings to the table, usually 99 out of 10 times, it's money. How much can you pay towards these bills? How much can you put towards these bills? How much money you make? He's trying to add up and calculate what kind of life y'all can have with his money plus your money. What kind of life y'all gonna have? That's what that means. So my husband never asked me that because he didn't need my money. Okay? Any man with good means would be a fool not to ask that question. Well, maybe your friends or men are not men who want to be sole providers. Maybe they're 50-50 men. Maybe they, So this is what I mean. Men, be who you are. Who are you? What kind of husband you're going to be? Ladies, you need to know what kind of husband you want. So if you go on a date and a man asks you what you bring to the table, right there it tells you he's not a husband that's going to provide for all of your basic needs. My circle of male friends, we have worked very hard to get our career, good credit, homes, employment, no kids, and just doing it. So did my husband and his frat brothers. One of my husband's frat brothers married his wife and retired her. Okay. So why should I accept someone, for example, like Alicia? A mate is a choice. I keep telling you guys and ladies that you get to choose. I don't think Alicia should be getting no kind of husband. So you don't have to choose a woman like Alicia. You think about what kind of husband I want to be, and you date according to what you want. Ladies, you think about the type of husband you want, and you date according to what you want. So if you want to provide a husband and you meet somebody who can only pay 50% of the bill, bye. Don't waste your time. Don't try to change his mind. Don't convince him, because he has a right to want to live the life he wants to live. So why should I accept someone, for example, like Alicia? Heck no, I'm not taking in a woman more than one kid, baby daddy problems, and a lot of bills. Pay your bills, ladies. One of the things my husband said, one of the reasons he married me, because he paid attention to how I was with my money. He said, I noticed you didn't waste your money, so I knew you wasn't going to waste mine. You have revolving credit cards because you're shopping, because you have no control, because you shop as a stress reliever. Stop it. Pay your bills. I agree. Let me tell you, before I married my husband, probably accept his proposal, I asked him, I need the credit report. I need to see how much debt you're in. And when he gave me his, I gave him mine. All that was on mine was my student loans and one or two little baby credit card. His was fine. Mine was fine. Good. So based on my credit history, my credit report, he knew I wasn't a girl that was shopping to keep up with the Joneses, spending money I don't have. He knew that. And he paid attention to how I was. I was making $50,000 a year, still living in a one-bedroom apartment where I gave my daughter the bedroom and I slept in the living room on the futon while I was paying off my student loans and saving my money to buy a house. So he knew I wasn't a spender or wasting money or keeping up with the Joneses based on how I was living my life and what I was doing with my life. He knew that. He knew he could trust me with his money. And I told him the other day, I could rob you blind and leave you. He said, no, you wouldn't do that. You're not that person. So ladies, pay your bills. I agree. He shouldn't have to pick you up in no business. And if you have kids, you need to be taking care of your children. I already said that in the video about where's the baby daddy. How was you taking care of these kids before you met the man? Now, a good husband is after he's fallen in love with you and he just love you, he can't live without you, he can't do without you. He gonna say, come on in here, come bring Pookie and Tootsie up in here. Because when I brought Lexa, she get a little $2.50 a month. And I said, Mike, this is what Lexa. And he said, girl, put that away. Put that in the bank. Put it away. But you being like Alicia, trying to look for somebody to take care of your kids, where is the baby daddy? Go and watch the video and go find the baby daddy and demand that he takes care of the babies you laid down with him and made. Not the man that didn't have any responsibility, who didn't lay down with you and make the kids. And I'm supposed to put all her troubles and problems on me. Nope, shouldn't have to. Women like Denise, Alicia, Simone, no. No man should marry any woman like that. They got too many problems, too many baggages, too many unresolved issues. You need to go to counseling and you need to work your problems out. You should not sit down and wait for a man to come fix you. Go ahead, go get it. The teacher here. Okay, go ahead. I will get it. She came back. She came back early. Okay. Fix your problems before you get married. Know what you want. I knew what I wanted when I was dating. So when a man wasn't what I wanted, guess what? I drop and move on and work, writing a book on all the guys I dated and why I dropped them. Now let me tell you about how you need to plan. You need to get your finances in order. I was dating this guy and I dropped him as soon as I found out he was $484,000 in debt. College student loans, child. He went to that school that Trump went to. President Trump went. Wortham, Harriman, something up there. The big old expensive school. Then the market crashed in 2008. Remember that? He had a studio apartment. Studio apartment is one room. I had a one bedroom. He was in so much debt that when they laid him off, his unemployment couldn't even pay because he had to pay the student loans and the rent, and then he had to move back home with the mama. Okay? When they hear women, some people hear women like me say, I want a man that provides for me, pays all the primary bills, does not need my income for basic needs. They say, oh, what are you doing with your money? You're shopping. No, I'm not. See, we always late to the party. Everybody else know what to do. Everybody else know to save money, have investments, have your retirement, save for your kids' college, save for your kids' future. Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Our Jewish brothers and sisters, that's what they do. My Jewish girlfriend, she's saving for her kids' grandchildren, and her parents saved for her kids. So there's always a generation that's covered. Us black folks, we broke, busted, disgusted, live paycheck to paycheck. Did nobody tell us? No, we don't pick up a book and read, most of us. And so we have absolutely nothing. And so financial advisor says you live on one income, you save the other, you invest. You save for your kids' college future. You save for your retirement. You save for your inheritance, so you have something to give to your kids. You save for an emergency. You save when you have the baby. You can stay home 6 months. God forbid your husband lose the job. You have your savings. God forbid you can't go to work. There's a pandemic. There is coronavirus. You can't go to work. You need to be able to feed your children. But how can you do that if you live on everything, you spend everything, you eat everything, you shop everything? Financial advice say you need to have at least 1 month of emergency fund. Now they say 6 months to a year. They said used to say 3 months. They said start with 1 month. If you have 1 month, you are good. They said 3 months, 6 months. So if anything happens, guess what? Child, you're not worrying about nothing. You just praying for the Lord. I pray that the Lord will make a way, honey. But me and my family, we're fine. So you need to choose your mate where you have the same core values. Gentlemen, you can't choose a wife who want a Benz, but all you can afford is a Ford, and she don't want the Benz. She don't want the Ford, she want the Benz. But you know we need to have this Ford for a minute so we can save some money in the event of an emergency. Now, for those of you brothers who want 50-50, I hope you don't plan on being the head of the house. I hope you don't plan on talking about your wife should submit to you. You can't afford her. I hope you don't plan to talk about I'm the man of the house. Which house? You only man a half of the house. I hope you don't plan on saying you're the head of the house. We're both the head. If I'm paying, I don't know why women sign up for this. You pay 50%, he's paid 50%, but he's the head of the house. Not in my house. I wouldn't have married nobody like that in the first place, but I'm just saying, child, if I'm paying 50% of these bills, I'm going to be 50% of the head too. And so we going to be two heads, and we going to make the decisions. You want a Ford? I want a Benz, honey. I'm the head of this house too. Because the thing about being the head is you're responsible. The thing about submission, ladies, is we give up our right to be the head. We give up the right to make all the decisions. When my husband was picking out the truck, we saw 3, we got it down to 2. He said, which one do you want? I said, listen, ladies, use your wisdom. Listen, ladies, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do, ladies. You say, honey, whichever one you bring home, I'll be happy with it. And he'll say, really? Anyone. If I bring home any one of these, you'll be happy with it? And you say yes. Anyone. And that's what I did. There was 2 trucks. And he said, which one you want? I said, just any one you bring home. And so I made him make the decision. See, he's the head of the house. He can do that. So for those of you brothers who talk about 50-50, no one specifically, I hope you're ready to share the head of the house. So don't you ever open up your mouth and say you're the head. You're not. Don't you open up your mouth, talk about I'm the man of the house. Which side? Choose a side. This side, that side. Half of the house. Don't you open up your mouth and say your wife submit. You can't afford her, child. You can't afford her. You could only afford 50%. And then the woman who's paying 50% and still need to submit, then they could start crying about it because you know it's not right. You know that. You know that. Now, I'm not telling wives not to submit. You know I teach about submission. Submission means to come under someone's authority, to provide, to protect, and profess. So if you paying 50% of the provision, profession, and the protection, I don't know how that part works. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know how it works. But everybody needs to know what you want and date accordingly. Brothers, if you know you want a woman to go 50-50 with, that's what you date. Do not date women like me who want a husband that's going to provide. And women, if you want a provider husband, do not date 50-50 men. You can't change their minds. You need to date guys who believe it is their responsibility to provide. Oh, it takes 2 incomes now to have a household. Cut your expenses. Cut your, you spend it to, you living, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Somebody got in it with their husband, went to the mall, $500, bought 3 pair of jeans and 2 shirts for a 3-year-old. I said, girl, no wonder that man is mad. $500 and 3 pair of jeans and 2 shirts. No, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. A 3-year-old don't need that because you know they can only wear it for a month. That's it. I'm telling you, these kids go through stuff like a month. That's all they can wear because they grow so fast. So you need to just decide on the type of life you want to have and choose your husband based on what the life you want to have. Y'all keeping up with the Joneses have these expensive tastes. Check your savings, honey. Well, how much you got in there? How much money you have in your emergency fund? Something happened to you or your husband, y'all can't go to work. How long can you live without stressing? And don't talk about unemployment, because what if you don't get it? What if you don't get the unemployment? Then what? How you gonna live? So everybody, choose the mate you want. Choose the life you want. Choose the wife you want, brothers. Sisters, choose the husband you want. I know the type of life I wanted to live. I live a very modest life. Very modest. But my 5-year-old, oh, you should see his college fund, though. Girl, you should see my baby's college fund. He's ready for college. And he's 5. The day we got his Social Security card, we was in the parking lot in Livingston, called the financial advisor, got this Social Security, got this, okay. How we going to put this in the month? Send the paper, okay, we're going to get it back. My new book is coming out, but in the meantime, 23 Types of Guys is available on Amazon. Naked Wife. A lot of y'all women are naked wives. You know why you're naked wives? You ignore the red flags. You didn't pay attention. You chose the 50-50 man, though you want 100% man. You're fighting, and this is it. You know, 50% is this way. You're pulling him this way. He's pulling you this way, and there's a tug and war between y'all because both of y'all say, hey. You're not going to submit to him because you paying 50%. He wants you to submit to him because he thinks because he has a dingling, you should automatically submit to him because he got the dingling. In the meantime, he can't afford you because you got, But anyways, I got to go. Bye. I love you. Bye. I'm going to try to watch live tonight, child. Woo, child. Let me go take my nap right now. Love you. Bye.